flag, please.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, and thank you, ladies, for pulling this together and giving us an update on what is going on. I know you've been busy at numerous meetings with emergency planning and like that, as a moderator, so.
Thanks. Karen Anderson has put together a flyer for you to consider. Actually, this would go possibly on the front doors of the town hall,
Okay.
but we can add or subtract anything you like.
And spread of, okay, avoid contact with sick people, wash your hands often with soap and water for 20 seconds. Keep a safe distance away from people, avoid touching your eyes, your mouth, and hands. Covering off the coffee, the nose, sneezing. That's good, I think that's good. If you're not feeling good, don't come to the meeting, that would be the answer I have for that.
Right, and obviously on the bathroom doors, please wash your hands.
Absolutely.
The other thing, of course, there's a lot of other information that we could put together.
Mm-hmm.
One idea was a flyer or a letter that we put on the website. Some of the other towns have already done this, and I believe I sent to the board
Yes.
a sample from the town of Londonderry
Londonderry,
had
yeah.
put together, and
Right, I think that's good. I think it really, now, are you gonna put this on that?
the front doors, if it's okay with the board.
Absolutely. You don't wanna put it on the website as well or not?
Absolutely.
How do you feel about
Sure.
that? Cause I don't think it's a big bother to do that, is it?
No, not at all.
We have all of those materials left over, the cleaning materials left over from the election.
Right.
Yes.
Maybe if we're gonna put this on the website, why don't we also add that we've taken some reasonable precautions to clean things and to have people aware of this, and please come to the meeting.
Right, absolutely. We need you at the meeting.
Well,
Also,
we need people at the meeting if they're
Absolutely.
healthy.
that's a.
If there's anybody that's got anything they shouldn't come, I've got a couple of calls last night when people said, well, we'll not come because we don't feel good and this and that. And
That's understandable.
so I thank them, and, yeah,
Maybe we should add that, all healthy people.
yeah.
I also want to comment, I want to thank you, Eleanor, personally, for you come in here every morning and I see you wiping things down, the door handles and things like that. I appreciate that because I know how concerned you are. And I want you to know that I really appreciate that. Thank you. Same thing with you, Martha. I see you wiping things down. That's good precaution. Okay.
Maybe before the meeting, I was just thinking of one thing, if someone could wipe down the microphones
Mm-hmm.
and where people hold it, where people speak into it, that would be an area.
Well, the other thing is the microphone is usually on a pedestal.
People
So,
grab it.
well, maybe they
People
shouldn't
grab
touch
it,
it.
it's not, they grab it just because for safety reasons, they wanna hold on when they're talking or whatever it is, you know?
Wait a minute, just because there's some elderly people in town doesn't mean they're all doing it.
But we can have
Age
a little
discrimination.
table.
Yeah.
Yeah, right, a little table with
Right.
wipes right
Yeah.
there.
But I think Mr. Latcho is absolutely correct. I think we should let the people know that we are doing our due diligence. We are really trying to perform as much healthy things as we can to make sure everybody's protected. But please, come out to the meeting.
I had an idea also, Martha, I haven't run that by you, is that, I don't know if we can for fire safety reasons, but I thought we should prop open all the doors so no one touches the door handles, they can just walk right through.
Right.
That's a good idea.
Someone brought that up to my attention this morning. I think it's a fantastic idea. That way you're not touching things, therefore less chances of germs being late somewhere. Very good point.
So we thought, I don't know who I've been talking to about that, but we thought that for the first half hour, we do that right from the outside,
Yes.
is that what you were
Yes,
thinking?
exactly.
So
Okay,
that-
first time,
You know, just so, depending on how warm it is or how cold it is.
Right.
Right.
and then we can close them and then reopen
Yeah.
them when people,
Yeah.
okay,
Yeah.
Right,
and I'll wipe them
That
down.
makes sense.
good deal.
Just out of curiosity, have you heard from any other town administrators with regards to their town meetings and how they're progressing?
Yes, they've all been talking via email, and that's where we actually got the Londonderry notice from.
Okay,
And they're all moving forward. We have, as you know, we have 6 cases that have been identified here in the state out of over 1 million people so far. And I think we're ready for this meeting. We've taken all the precautions we can.
Well, good, good.
So while we're here, can we have a quick, Mike, on the bike thing that's coming up, will come up tomorrow, give us a quick rule.
absolutely. We've had a number of meetings with the committee we formulated for, pardon me. From my wife. What the committee formulated is, we're going to go forward with, not a bond,
A
A
grant,
match.
matching grant.
matching funds with the state at 80% match. The state will give us 80%, the town will try to raise the 20% to start a process of having a safety lane, not so much a bike lane, but a safety lane for people who walk daily, and that's moving along pretty good. We've got a good committee, a good diverse number of people from our town that's involved, and I think that the committee's done a lot of good work. The fire chief, the police chief are involved, the principal of schools involved, so we have a good committee formulated. Did I forget anything, Martha?
That's it.
Michael, just,
Yeah.
not to quick, we're applying for the grant, the state hasn't granted us the 80%.
right.
We're just gonna put up to 20, and once we get the money
Correct.
up, we can apply for the grant, and it looks like the potential we might be a contender.
Some of the information I received from an official in the town of Newcastle is if we have our grant money, our seed money allocated by the town, then we apply for the grant, it's a better chance of us getting the money. If we do not succeed in getting the grant money, the money that's been put forward will go back into the paving account for the town or the highway department, highway account, excuse me. And that's where it'll stay until we can decide what we do next. That all right?
Right, I just wanna make sure we're clear that what the selectmen's intent to do with the funds, should it not proceed at, should
Right.
we not get the grant?
Right.
Would it be your choice that those funds just be held and lapse to the general fund and go back to reduced taxes? Or is your thought that it's going to be used for highway projects? I just wanna be clear.
Right.
I would think at this point, we held to reduce taxes,
That was the feeling of some of the people on the board. Some of them prefer to put it into the highway fund. They haven't really made a decision on that. The committee has not made a decision, but, and I think the selectmen will probably make that final decision, what we should do with it. I think the chairman's correct. Maybe we should put it in to keep our taxes down, and then we'll move on from there, okay?
I was talking with one of the committee members, and straighten me out, Mike,
Yeah.
that we get extra points scoring on a grant if we have money available up front.
That's correct.
The 20% match.
According to the information I've received from other people, it's exactly right. If we do put the seed money or our end of the money up first, the state looks at that with better numbers to maybe possibly move it along for us to get that money from the state. In other words, we're showing an initiative here. We show the initiative, they can see that we are serious about it. We're not just going in and looking for free money. Okay?
Good, good.
Okay, you and I went to the PDA yesterday, just want a little update on that, if you would please, while we're here.
Yes, thank you, Ted. Interesting. PDA and the Air Guard are repaving the runway.
Oh, okay.
And the runway project will be underway spring, summer, and fall. Now, the interesting thing, and the reason why we met with them yesterday, is we became aware earlier on that Pike is building I call it a portable asphalt production plant on the north ramp.
Okay.
We took a ride, Ted and I took a ride over there yesterday, and the equipment is already there. And as the PDA people informed us they wanna start paving and producing pavement this next month. So they're going to do the runway in 3 sections, front, end, and middle. And the actual paving is a small time allotted for each one of those phases. Preparation, the milling, the preparation take more time than the actual paving. So we were told the actual number of days of production for that plant isn't that many, because they only need it when they are now putting down the pavement. What we made clear is, regardless of the number of days, we don't wanna experience what we have and continue to with odors coming out of spray.
Absolutely.
That on the north runway, that's a good home run hit right over into Fox Point and over to where the children have their summer camp. And they assured us that all permits from DES have been approved. They've met all the requirements. We simply asked, that's fine, no odors coming into our town. And that we are gonna follow up meeting with DES. Ted and I thought it would be a good idea to meet with them, if nothing else, just to convey our concern about the noxious odors and the proximity to our residents and children. And who knows, maybe they'll do a couple extra inspections. So that's underway, and it will be going on spring, summer, and fall. The other thing, I'm not sure, did I ever give a little report on what was happening with the offshore power?
No.
About a week or so ago, I attended another meeting at UNH on the offshore power and the number of units, or what they're looking at from what they call the Gulf of Maine, North Maine, all the way down to the tip of Cape Cod.
Correct.
There was a guest speaker from Rhode Island who spoke about from the tip of Cape Cod south down through Rhode Island. I was surprised when they said their alternative energy phase 1 is already up and running.
Oh, really?
I had no idea
I didn't either.
that they are producing power now for sale, and they're going to do more. But what we gleaned out of that and what he stressed was that when they started, they had no idea that there were like 50 or 60 regulatory agencies that had their fingers on the ocean and shoreline, and it took literally years to wade through that process. And it is still a lengthy regulation approval process. So New Hampshire, Maine, and Massachusetts have started the process, and it's 5 to 10 years out, but with Rhode Island up and running, I think it's safe to say that certainly in our lifetime, we're gonna see this happening.
Well, that-
And
yeah, go ahead.
one other thing that I did find out at the meeting, and I asked, how did that happen? An advisory committee has been formed.
Oh, I didn't know that either.
No, neither did we. So I asked, how did that happen? And they said, well, we've gone to the communities along the coast and asked for, in addition to the state personnel, for people that live in those actual coast towns. So I asked if it's, the advisory committee is completed in terms of membership, and they said, no, it's still a ways out. And I said, Newington would certainly be very interested in that, because I reminded them that we have the deep port and We have the two gas-fired, high-efficiency, energy, electricity producing plants. And with the distribution capacity.
Right.
So, we are making inquiries, and we said, if we're not on board now, and things start to move and areas are starting to be built out, 5 years from now, it would become very difficult to get on that advisory committee. So we wanna continue to push the issue to get representation for Newington now in the infancy stages.
Who appoints this committee, Ken? Is
Uh,
it the governor? If
I would
not,
say the governor is the second person behind it, but it's coming through their energy department.
What I would suggest we do is send a letter to the governor on behalf of the selectmen that we would like to have somebody from the town of Newington appointed to that commission.
I'd like to make that motion, Mr. Chairman,
I would certainly second that.
because I think that that's definitely something we should be really.
And with a copy to whoever the chairman of this
Right.
committee is and like that. just let them know.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
thank you for
Yeah,
that.
that's what I would suggest.
The young fella speaking on behalf of the state was Tim Moynihan, I believe, but I have his contact and name information, but I think that's a good thing to do to get in front of this curve.
Thank you for bringing that to us, Ken. I didn't realize there was a committee involved already.
No, that was news.
Yeah.
The meeting we had with PDA yesterday, our representative Peggy Lamson was there, and she was the one that set up the meeting for Ken and I to get there. So
Oh,
we
good.
It was a
Yeah.
high efficiency.
Good.
On the lighter side of the issue, it was very evident when we sat down and started talking that Peggy had grilled them extensively about the odors, odoriferous odors
Yeah.
and noxious odors coming into town. So, Peggy was right on top of that.
That's good to hear.
All right, I think that takes care of anything else. Anybody have
I
anything?
do have one more legal
Please.
item for the board, if you wouldn't mind,
Yep.
just 10 minutes.
Okay.
Could you possibly go into a?
Yes, I'll make a motion, we go into non-public for legal matters.
Second,
So moved.
second, second, roll call, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay,